This is the guy here. Look,
Oh
that's
yeah, the
there.
original, and wow, that's crazy.
Look at that.
It's
That's just
wild.
him playing with a toilet roll.
That is the coolest toilet roll I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
And then he just uses he used like ChatGPT to run the script,
Yep.
Midjourney to create the images, and then Runway to apply the style.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Marketing Against the Grain, your show for marketing-minded people everywhere. I'm your co-host, Kipp, the CMO over at HubSpot, joined as always by my co-host and friend, Kieran Flanagan, who's the CMO over at Zapier. And today we are talking about video and image AI and how it is going to transform marketing. The biggest thing that's going to happen, and that I think, Kieran, you and I see happening in marketing, is that image AI is just going to completely change how we create content. You know, what we see now with Midjourney, and so for folks who are unfamiliar, Midjourney is the current leader in the image AI space. You have Dolly, you have Adobe Firefly, you have a lot of products out there. You have Canva's AI image tool. There are a lot of interesting products out there. Midjourney is the leader because of their approach and just ability to generate crazy quality images. Like, Kieran, you told me you've been playing around with Midjourney. What's your take on Midjourney for marketers?
The thing that I truly think is kind of mind-blowing is, one of the things we talked about in this show is the future is kind of like human-driven and AI-assisted, or AI-assisted and human-driven, right? You're in one of those buckets. And when AI is an assistant, how good you are at your job, it's going to be dependent upon how good you are at prompting. And prompting at the moment is like this thing where I can choose to share a prompt that I've used that worked really well, or I can choose not to. You can't really find out what I'm doing. And that's particularly true in graphics, right? Like, you can go to all these different places and you can look to see what images people have created, but you don't really know the prompt that actually created that image. So it's hard to actually learn, right? It's hard to actually figure out how to learn from something. Unless you go into Twitter and you go to all these Twitter feeds, which are like the 10 prompts can do these things, which are not a great way to learn. Well, Midjourney has completely changed the game in terms of how we can learn prompting.
It's bananas.
It is open sourced it. And so what can you do today? You can basically have a command that is called describe, and describe allows you to upload an image. And when you upload that image, it will give you the Midjourney prompt that created that image.
Yeah, I'm showing this so everybody can understand. Here's a tweet from Matt Wolf. The new Midjourney describe feature literally just launched as we're recording this. And so this original image right here of the setting of this deer is what he uploaded, got the prompt, and then was able to make all of these other images just from uploading that one image, right?
Right.
That's mind blowing. And like a lot of the other, I think all the other ones are better first and foremost. And like the amount of control. And what's great with Midjourney as well is anytime you see a Midjourney image, most people are putting the whole prompt as the alt tag. And so this is the actual prompt. So just to be clear for everybody watching this video, what you can do, if you want this video, if you type in a colorful landscape depicting a deer in the mountains area in the style of faceted shapes, lifelike avian illustrations, bold color usage, dark cyan, amber outdoor scenes, flat perspective, detailed patterns, vibrant color gradients, AR 7 aspect ratio, AR 7:4. V5 is the version 5 of Midjourney. If you type that in, it gives you this picture. That's all you have to do is type in that command, and it automatically generates this picture, which is professional design level picture instantly off of a couple sentences.
Yeah. It's supporting
crazy.
And it has in V5, it actually has some other commands you can use to start to, like, if you are a graphic designer, it's added in commands you can use to be able to like perfect the image the way you want it to perfect it. I think it has something like tile in and aspect ratios and all these kind of different things. It's not perfect for sure.
It's not.
And maybe
it's super early. It's still in beta.
Yeah. And maybe this is dependent upon the graphic you use, right? If you upload an image from the web and you ask it to describe it and you actually give it the prompt back in, it doesn't get anywhere close, but that could just be because when I read through this, there's different imagery that works really well for it versus uploading imagery from the web. But I think one of the things that the way that we're describing this is we are not graphic designers. Like, I'm definitely not a graphic designer. And so I'm describing like how this is really beneficial to someone like me who feels like I can create, the two tools that I would really use after playing around with Midjourney V5 is probably Midjourney and Canva's tools, because I can actually take the image, I can iterate on it in Midjourney, and then I can take it on Canva and add some finishing touches. and maybe put it into some sort of template or like whatever I want to do with it there.
Put it into some production that you're going
Right.
to go and use, whether it be a social post, whether it be a presentation, what have you, right? But let's give a practical example of what this I think is going to look like for businesses, for marketers. Let's say you had the Midjourney engine, right, Kieran? And we're going to talk about some of the challenges with Midjourney in just a minute. But let's say you had the Midjourney image, and what you were able to do is train it on your own brand material.
Yeah.
So your brand style guide, all of that. And so what you have is in this world is you have a very high skilled designer who creates templates, brand identity, all this like foundational work to your company. And that's not going away. And I think designers that will be aided by AI will do that work in the future. What you then can do is make it accessible to anybody in your company to create beautiful images, beautiful templates, everything they need with text exceptionally quickly that is always on brand and looks amazing. And that has been one of the hardest things in marketing for decades, right? And that problem is going to go away over the next 12 to 18 months, probably.
I think marketers being able to do simplistic coding, imagery, and video without the need of production or web developers is an incredible up level. I think of the work we'll see, hopefully we'll see from marketers. Like for the most part, all marketers are restricted in what they can do, not usually by the ideas or the willingness to execute. It's like resources, and that resource is always on the imagery, the video, and the development. If you can actually free up those things so marketers can do those things themselves, wow. I think they're going to see a bunch more innovation, some really incredible things.
Yeah, because one of the things AI, especially image and video AI, with images and video today, there's a lot of what I call like operating expense around it. That like, oh, we got to do all this boring kind of like menial workflow work or, monthly updates, weekly updates, all of these things to like keep things looking and working well. And AI is going to be able to automate so much of that it should free up marketers to spend their time in the creative world doing much more interesting things, more customer facing, bigger, bolder things, which I think is going to be awesome.
Right.
But Kieran, why isn't every marketer using Midjourney right now? Like what are some of the problems with something like Midjourney?
I think it's still hard to customize to your needs. I still think there's
it's so early. It's in beta, right? Like first of all, it's in beta. That's one. Go ahead.
There's still some know-how. Like this is not, you can design without having design skills. For the things you truly need, like I think I can get some stuff without having design skills, but is it like production ready if I'm going to use it within my marketing and want it to be like high quality to use in different places? Probably still need a designer to like iterate on it, design on it. I think Midjourney is really great for first drafts, very much similar to like OpenAI for content. I think it's great to iterate, but then again, I still think you go to the Canva, their AI tools are incredible. The thing you talked about, which is like train it on your brand guidelines and be able to produce templates for marketers to use, that's Canva. That is really where they're going.
Canva's going to be great for that.
One of the things we haven't really talked about is how people are using the combination, like Midjourney to do graphics and then actually using those for videos. And so I've been spotting a bunch of like incredible things, but this one is like freaky. There's another, I want to show you one other version of this. So this is like very, kind of fun, not that practical. Basically, someone designed this character in Midjourney.
Oh, that's crazy.
This person does not exist. Midjourney created this person. And then they did the animation. They created the voice in a different AI app. Then they animated it, which you see that person speaking. And then they wrote the script in OpenAI. So like that's a kind of cool version where you can start to create like fake videos of real people doing things for your brand. But the one I wanted to show you is to show you like how far you can actually push this in terms of the future and kind of the capabilities marketers will have with these tools. I thought this one was wild. So this is all done with AI. So this is done through Midjourney. So this is a real person and they just filmed themselves walking around the house. So if you actually see the before and after, it's actually just a real person and the AI is copying them. Then the AI takes them and takes the graphics from Midjourney and applies the graphics, overlays them on top of the recording you took, and then Runway brings it all together. Right? This is the guy here. Look.
Oh yeah, the original, and wow, that's crazy.
Look at that.
That's
wild. Just him playing with a toilet roll.
That is the coolest toilet roll I've ever seen.
And then he just uses he used like ChatGPT to run the script, Midjourney to create the images, and then Runway to apply the style. Like this is nuts. Look, and the thing I keep coming back to is this is happening now. Like that's the thing I keep reminding myself.
Yeah,
It's
this
like
is all real stuff people are making.
people are doing
I think
now.
one of the challenges with AI is that we always thought that it was going to be in the future, and now it's now. And it's pretty mind-blowing. I want to talk about the biggest holdup for Midjourney is, just so everybody knows, you have to access it through a Discord bot.
Oh yeah, that's the thing I hate.
There is no user interface. There's no chat interface. You have to sign up to Discord, access this Discord bot, do your prompting through Discord, and you get the image files back in Discord. There's no API, so if you're a developer, you can't access Midjourney right now. So it's still not ready for prime time.
No.
It's in beta. They're building all of this out. But what we wanted to show you is, wow, V5 is sick. The describe feature is sick. You can clearly think about how you're going to apply this to marketing and be able to use all of this work in your marketing production and the marketing storytelling. It is just, we still have another cycle of innovation to go until it's really there and ready. Right?
Yeah.
And so those are some of the challenges with Midjourney and just images today. I would say Midjourney is the most powerful, right? Adobe is the most compliant, and Canva is the most kind of Goldilocks in the middle. It's not great at anything, but wow, it's already a part of a tool that you're probably using. It's in your workflow, and it's a way to use AI today.
Yeah, it's the most practical.
Yeah, and you're going to get better results than not using AI with Canva AI. And so those are AI image products you can go and use right now to transform how you think about producing content in your marketing today. And I think what you and I are saying, Kieran, is that is going to up level again over the next cycle of innovation throughout those three products and other products. You know, the early products to a market are often not the winner in these big technology shifts like AI. So the best image tools could yet to still become, which is pretty crazy. But Kieran, we talked a lot about images. I wanted to show you a little bit about video, and I want to talk to you about NERFs. I want to show you something that for a video from Luma, which we're gonna have Ginny AI, who's Ginny 4_ AI on Twitter. We're gonna have her on the show soon. So Ginny, we're excited to have you on the show. She had a great treat about Luma AI and the work they are doing in videos. So they just released their Unreal Engine, and all of this video production that you're seeing here is completely AI generated. And it's all done through a technology called NERFs. And so now you're asking, okay, well, what the heck is a NERF? And it's not a gun, it's not a basketball hoop. Instead, it is a new type of technology. And a NERF is neural radiance fields. And so if you look at some of the examples here, what you're able to do is take a 3D camera, Kieran, and take a 3D view of a scene and then pull out any of those aspects into different elements that you can just drag and drop in a video. So it's like, cool, I can take these stones on this tower and I can move them around, pick them up. In the video on Ginny AI's example from Luma, there were these graffitied walls that they could just pick up and move around. So it's basically unstitching a 3D video and rendering to use it to create new videos. And this is huge in the 3D video space. So especially in gaming, it's going to be really big and really important. But you probably have never heard of neural radiance fields. We're going to hear about them a lot because in marketing, as these tools get into our just video production workflow, we're going to be using tools like Luma and other to create amazing AI generated video without, shooting all of the raw footage ourselves and doing everything. It's like you're gonna be able to go and take some 360 video to get the elements you want and then create a net new video from those bits and pieces of it. To me, that is like mind blowing.
I saw a lot of demos for Luma AI on Twitter, and they are mind blowing. People showing how they're using it just to build games today much more efficiently. So Twitter is the go-to place for just the stream of consciousness of what people are doing on AI. I do wonder if someone should build Stack Overflow specifically for AI.
I think they probably should.
Twitter is good. It's the best we have, but it's not like great. I don't think when you really just want to go deep in AI or have this kind of stream of like cool things happen in AI, nothing like that really exists. I think that's someone out there who's really entrepreneurial should go build that. I'd use it.
I would totally use it. That, and then any specific marketing prompts, marketing versions of these tools or ways to use these tools for marketing specific ways. There's a bunch of things that we're so early on with that it's just like, we're just now exploring what is possible, and what is possible is changing so freaking quickly, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on today's show, we talked about image creation through Midjourney and how real image creation is here today. It's got its limitations, but wow, how you think about doing design is going to change drastically in your marketing team over the next 6 to 12 months. And video is not that far behind, right? The sequence of this stuff is text, image, video in order of progression, because text is the simplest, images are the next difficult, and video is the most difficult. But we are seeing massive progress in all three. Kieran, anything you want to add before we close out today's show?
No, I think play with these tools. Like, especially if I was going to start, I would play with Midjourney. It's worth getting a subscription for a couple of months and just learning how they work. Again, I keep coming back to there's a new way of working that has been built before our eyes. And I think you're going to need to know how to use these tools to be relevant as a knowledge worker in the future. It is, and I think it's overwhelming. So try to pick a couple of spots. Maybe we should do a show on, we've done one, but I think I have some thoughts on trying to pick a couple of spots of where you can actually lean in and try and tune out the rest of the noise.
We should do a whole show on building your career in the AI era.
Post-AI world.
Yes, yeah. I love that. We'll backlog that. If you want to see that show, hit us up in a comment on YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch the show, and we'll be back with you real soon on Marketing Against the Grain.
This data is wrong every freaking time.
Have you heard of HubSpot? HubSpot is a CRM platform where everything is fully integrated.
Whoa, I can see the client's whole history, calls, support tickets, emails, and here's a task from 3 days ago I totally missed.
HubSpot. Grow better.